Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the Israel Brief, brought to you by Lay of the Land, bringing you news right from Israel or directly from Israel. And I want to see, how are you all doing? Is everybody getting through this in our own way? We're finding ways to support each other, to be creative. One of our viewers from Australia asked me to address the issue of why it's important to stay at home. Now, many countries, including South Africa from last night, the UK, Israel, where we are under near total lockdown. And the reason for this is very, very important. In order for the governments or for the health ministries around the world to flatten the curve, to try and contain the spread of the coronavirus as much as possible so that it doesn't overtax health systems around the world, leaders around the world are imploring people to please stay at home. And I know that it's very, very challenging for many of us. We want to go out, we want to be free, but this is for our own good, because this is about how we can stop the spread of the virus, especially to vulnerable people, people who are working on the front line, medical workers, delivery people, pharmacy workers, supermarket workers who are doing everything they can, but also, very importantly, the really, really vulnerable amongst us, the elder people, and it's a way of looking out for each other. So please, everybody, wherever you are around the world, stay at home. This is the one time in our life where we get to reset, re-examine, take that time out. We live such rushed lives that perhaps this is the universe's way of saying, you know what, you need to stop, you need to reset, and you also need to understand the value of looking out for each other. So there'll be plenty time a lot later to help with the recovery process, to help businesses grow again, to help employment grow again. But right now, we really need to listen to the people making these important decisions and stay home. So nods in Australia. I hope that this addresses your question. But let's take a look at the top stories making headlines today. And the leading stories, of course, where Israel is standing as far as coronavirus is concerned. Now, this morning, the Tel Aviv Stock Exchange opened points higher. This is good news, and this is after the Bank of Israel offered to buy 50 billion shekels worth of government bonds in order to bolster the economy, but also to sort out the credit situation. At the moment, there are confirmed cases in Israel of about 1,659, with 41 who have recovered, or actually make that 49. I've just got that news flash in. 49 people who have recovered and been released. So far, we have had one fatality to coronavirus, and we mourn the loss of 88-year-old Holocaust survivor Aryeh Evan, who was an extraordinary man, and we pray that his memory is blessed. Last night, Israel's government, the health ministry, Prime Minister Netanyahu announced that they would be further restricting the movement of Israelis. This is to try and encourage as many people as possible to stay home for the reasons that I have just said. We want to flatten that curve. We want to stop this crisis getting really, really far out of hand. And as of last night, all public transport has ceased. Israelis are essentially not allowed to leave their homes except for essential errands like emergencies, walking the dog and coming straight back in, and going to the supermarket or the pharmacist. And the IDF announced today that they are preparing at least 2,000 troops to assist police should Israel go on full lockdown. There would be unarmed troops. This would just to ensure that people stay home. News came in from China this morning that lockdown has been released on the majority of the country except for the Wuhan province, and that the country is going back to normal. Factories are reopening, shops are reopening, people are going about their lives as normal before this. Yesterday, we also had news in from the World Health Organization that the numbers in Italy, as high as they may still be, have declined for 2 straight days. These are 2 straight days of declining numbers of infections and deaths. And if we really cooperate, we stay inside, we flatten the curve, this will be us soon, the numbers declining and us going into some kind of a recovery. So those are the top stories as far as COVID-19. But can anybody sort out the balagan that is the Knesset? Within the last hour, Prime Minister Netanyahu has implored Benny Gantz, let's meet, let's get this unity government sorted out today. It's very important because the war of words behind the scenes is continuing. The blue and white would like Yuli Edelstein out or replaced as Speaker of the Knesset. Yesterday he received a directive from the High Court to please conduct an election. This has to be done by Wednesday. He said he will not be doing that. He will not be conducting these elections. They've said to him, you have to do this. And the war of words have continued. The Likud yesterday boycotted votings and there's the setting up of 6 very essential committees, including the preparation of the education system for the year, as well as the defense and security committees. They have lost out on those committees. The blue and white accuse the Likud party of stopping the formation of the essential COVID committee. The Likud accused the blue and white of stealing the Knesset, and we generally agreed that this is really not on at the moment. We don't need this. We need to sort out the emergency that we are facing. So hopefully Gantz and Netanyahu will meet as soon as possible and we can get this sorted so that we can focus on the important business of getting everybody healthy and the economy back on track. But I thought I'd end today's broadcast with a more uplifting story. And last week we heard how El Al dispatched a flight to Peru to rescue stranded Israelis and bring them home to Israel. And it must be noted that Israel doesn't have an embassy in Peru, but El Al are now off to Perth in Australia, a beautiful city. Been there, happen to love Australia very much. And they'll be rescuing any Israelis that are still stranded in Australia. So if you are watching this, you're an Israeli in Australia and you want to come back home, get yourself to Perth. An El Al flight is on the way. In the meantime, if you're looking for something to do, why not write us an article? You can contact us via our website or via Facebook. Check out our website at www.layoftheland.online. Check out our Facebook page at Little Site. Look out for our lovely profile picture like this. And if you haven't already, give us a like and a follow. And don't forget that the news is posted to our YouTube channel at The Israel Brief. And all you have to do is click on the subscribe button. So with today's edition of The Israel Brief, I'm Rolene Marks wishing you all good health.